So anybody that step in the ring with Santana, whenever you ready, we can get in there. I know you say you got a mean forearm. Yeah.
Are you calling me out? Like, is you calling me out?
Whenever you ready. Whenever you ready.
All right, I got.
Damn,
I
that's
just
what
I just got called. This is the first time I ever got called out.
that is the first time. Damn.
Women's Wrestling Talk, the number one women's wrestling show on
What is up, everybody? You are tuned in to Women's Wrestling Talk, the number one women's wrestling show on the planet. And of course, it wouldn't be WWT if it wasn't the Salt Shakers, of course, the dominant tag team here. Myself, WWT senior writer, Big Barbie. According to Cody Rhodes, the newbie, I'm going to keep saying it, Nikki Bougie. And of course, when you see me, you see her, my tag team partner, the EIC of WWT, Dreon Santana. How are you feeling today?
Thank you. Great introduction.
Oh,
Like, hello, right? I feel great. I mean, it's Wednesday. I just got paid. I'm not spending no money because I gotta save. But it's a great day.
well, speaking of great, we have nothing but the best guest in the world from women's wrestling, but also to men, because I talk about this all the time. It's all about inclusion. So we got to have the men stop by. You may know him as Jet 2 Fly on all the social medias, but a lot of people are getting to know Kevin Knight a little more. Kevin Knight, welcome to Women's Wrestling Talk. How you doing?
I'm doing all right. It's a pleasure. It's a pleasure. That was a great Santana.
Thank you. We've been trying to do this for a while now. This man has been all over the world wrestling in some of the best promotions and doing his thing. So we have to get to know Kevin Knight a little more. So I have to ask right now. I know this might be hard, so you can just throw some more people out here. But if you had to pick your top 3 artists, we are celebrating hip hop, 50 years at that.
Top
Top 3 artists. Any genre though, it doesn't necessarily have to be hip hop, but you can give 3 and then you can give more. If you got about 10 like me.
I was about to say I got so many. You leaving it up to any genre too. That's tough. I'm gonna stick with hip hop just to make it easier. Because if I do everything else, that'll be way too much. But I'm gonna say number 1, Lil Wayne. I'm gonna get Lil Wayne out number 1 spot. Them mixtape days was crazy back in the day. I don't want to do numbers because I feel like that may get. It's not like I like one more than the other, but I gotta put 2 Jay-Z in there. He had innovated and all that, did his thing, and then I like Outkast as a whole. Can't go wrong with Outkast. Like I don't know if that is a package deal or what, but yeah, they're my people right there. That inspired this T-shirt, so yeah.
I mean, I'll put Outkast up there, even though people like to say Andre 3000 is like a terrible rap partner, according to one of my. I mean, they got their own beef or whatever. Speaking of continue on with music, I mean, anytime you're in the gym, you have like your song that you just put on to just kind of get you going and everything. So, like, what is your favorite workout song?
I'm gonna keep it a buck with you. I listen to anything in the gym. Like I ain't got no go-to hype song, whatever. I'll throw if I'm doing something slow or whatever. I'll throw some R&B on. I'll throw some rock music on. So whatever the vibe is, I just throw that thing on shuffle, and we in there. So ain't no specific like pump up song. I just get in there and vibe to whatever.
That's interesting. I will say I've seen you travel from LA to Atlanta to Japan. Where's some of the best places you've ever traveled, whether it's for wrestling or just vacation?
For wrestling, honestly, I love DC. That's one of my favorite places to wrestle. It's beautiful, and every time we go to that arena, whenever we do Capital Collision, that thing is lit. And then after the show, get some good mambo sauce, get some wings and all that, and the fries. So that's my go-to. So it's a good mix of the music, good food, and good fans too. So DC all around, probably my favorite place to wrestle. Obviously Tokyo, the fans are different out there. Fans are different. They appreciate like the little things. They appreciate your technique. They're so nice and so humble, so respectful. So it's a pleasure to be able to wrestle internationally and experience that whole different culture. Because being somebody like me, they don't see people like me on a daily. So the fact that they embrace me like with open arms is crazy to me. And that I don't speak their language, they might not understand how I speak sometimes. So it's like there's a disconnect, but it's still a connection. So it's dope. It's dope.
That's awesome. And even of course, like with you traveling a lot to various different places and things like that. I mean, there's already a moment where you need to go somewhere to find like your favorite food at, you know what I'm saying? Like me and Nikki, we travel. Velvet Taco is like top tier. We're I think we're putting ourselves on a map to go to every Velvet Taco wherever city we go to together. So
Okay.
it's like we go that do that thing. But like what would you say is like your favorite food? Like if it be a home cooked meal, it could be something like, fast food, just something that's just like um
I can't turn down some good fried rice. Fried rice is number one. Now that I'm back and forth with Tokyo now, ramen done became one of my favorite things. So anytime I'm feeling a little sick, just grab some soup, get some good fried rice or something. I'm good. It's pretty nice that the food that I do like is in Tokyo a lot, and Tokyo got some good ass burgers too. I don't know if I can say that. My bad for cussing.
No, you can.
we're good.
They got some good burgers and all that. The Wagyu beef, the Kobe beef, all that over there. So it's nice. It's burgers and fries and fried rice. Like probably like my top two.
Mm, I'm gonna have to try that. We
I
planning on
get
going to Tokyo
Yeah.
next summer, hopefully. But you've been in the ring with multiple people, worked in different promotions, had different legends be around. What's some of the best advice you've ever had, and what's some of the best advice you've ever given?
The best advice I could probably say is so simple, but it says patience. Just be patient. Yeah, patience is a virtue, and great things come to people that wait. Shabata always talked to us about patience whenever he was training us, whether it was just in the ring or whether he was trying to translate that to life. He only knows a few English words anyway, but patience is one of his favorite ones. So that stuck with me a long time. I talk with Fred Rosser and Kushida a lot too. They teaching over at the dojo. They say the same thing: patience. So that's the main thing I've been learning and practicing in my real life. You know what I mean? Not only in the ring, but just not trying to be in such a rush to make it through whatever I'm trying to do. And the biggest advice that I've given is, I always refer Triple H's theme song. It's all about the game and how you play. It's all about control and if you can take it. So if you live by them rules, like everything's a game. If you want to get what you want, it's all about how you play it. So just got to know what you're doing or how to get what you want.
Hey, this motherfucker spitting. Hold on. Love to see it. Triple H theme song. He had one of the hardest theme songs. But when you think about the lyrics, that's some good advice. Y'all better be listening if you're not. Speaking of wrestling, because of course this is women's wrestling talk. We got to get into some wrestling. I'm very curious, Kevin. What got you into wrestling?
Honestly, my family got me into it. My older brother and my dad. Whether it was just watching the wrestling or whether they was doing the moves to me, or they just got the new SmackDown game for that PlayStation, and I was just watching my brother. He let me play, but had the second controller like unplugged on some Big Brother type stuff. But yeah, I would just learn through the wrestling games and all of that, just seeing how they do it, and he would do all the moves to me. So I've been bumping since I was like 2, 3 years old. So I already know how to wrestle since out the womb. But now I just love the showmanship of it all. Back in the day, like the early 2000s, everybody's look and character and everything was so different, and that's what drew me in. It's just how cool and the energy was. The Rock came out talking this stuff. Jeff Hardy came out wearing something different every week. So that type of stuff always just drew me in. You know.
I can definitely attest to wrestling as a child. Me and my dad treated me like I was a boy. And he and I would do wrestling moves on each other, and my mom would be like, "Please stop, you're gonna hurt her." So she's fine. She's toughen up anyway. So I'm like,
Right.
whatever.
Oh, so you about ready to get in the ring too? It sounds like.
I
Yes.
mean, listen, I told you, I do have a mean forearm. I've been waiting to try it out on somebody. They try me, but so of course, when it comes to wrestling and everything, I mean, you have like your early, inspirations, like when you're first starting out. Like, was there ever someone that's just like in wrestling that may have caught your eye when you first started and made you just be like, I like what they're doing, but I want to kind of put my own spin on it or something.
Mm. When I first started was like 2019, and I never knew anything about independent wrestling. I didn't know anything about Japanese pro wrestling. I just knew only really WWE, a little bit about TNA Impact. Just because I was a casual fan. But once I started and started seeing independent wrestling, the first indie match I ever saw was Swerve versus Leo at Defy. And just seeing two African American black guys just go at it like that, I was like, yo, I've never seen anything like this. You know what I mean? In WWE, they hold back a lot. Now that I'm learning a lot more. So I got to see them really go full throttle. And it was just a whole nother level. I was like, yo, maybe I could do something along these lines because a lot of times black wrestlers they get pigeonholed into being just whatever they want them to be. But Swerve and Leo, they were themselves, but also being taken serious as a wrestler. You know what I mean? As a main event type of caliber. So that type of thing just inspired me so much to be like I could do my own thing, have my own spin on it, still be that cool person, but be taken serious at the same time. So that's the path that I like to follow.
That's a good one too. Now, we all grew up watching wrestling for the most part, had some of our favorite matches, even with today. What were some of your matches growing up? And then more recently, what's been some of the favorite matches that you've watched and you've been like, damn, like I love that.
Mm. It's so different because I watch wrestling differently now that I'm actually wrestling. There's so many different things that I pick up on or just watch things to learn from. I watch things as a wrestler and as a fan. So usually I watch a match like 2-3 times because I just want to enjoy it. And then the other time I gotta see, oh, how did they put that together? How did they put that together? You know what I mean? So um when I was younger, I didn't have no specific matches. I liked moments, I guess, like the 2000 Royal Rumble when Too Cool and everybody was dancing at the Rumble. Even that same event with the Hardy Boys versus the Dudley Boys. I just love the Hardy Boys. Jeff Hardy, he could do no wrong to me. So it's not like I had a favorite match. Whenever he was out, I'm watching. So growing up, I didn't have no favorite matches. I just had my people I watched. But nowadays, now that I'm learning so much more about like the technical side of wrestling and the Japanese style, I've really been tapping into I watched the G1. What I watched, Osprey and Naito was amazing. Just like how they pace their stuff and the intensity of it and the different phases of the match they went through, the emotional attachment I had to it. So I just feel like that was a great way to put that together. And just me as a wrestler, that's a match to learn from. Um, just see how they put things together, how to get that reaction, in those type of matches. But
Speaking, yeah.
it's several things I watch. I watch everything now, so you can learn anything from anybody.
That is very true. And also playing a part of learning things from people. You got to learn your style too, though. You got to learn as a wrestler, you want to make sure that you do stand out from other wrestlers in the room. Like they know, like, oh, when I walk out, oh, that's Kevin Knight because he's wearing like orange or he's wearing blue or something. Which I'm very upset at the fact that you did not wear blue during Summer Scissor because I was like, you made me mad. And I was like, I
I,
want to wear that blue so bad
I,
because I like photographing blue on people.
okay,
So
I'll remember that next time we come to an event. I'm like, I gotta put the blue on. Gotta put the blue on.
so like we said on the subject of style, where does your style come from? Like what elements do you pull into to just like bringing your style to you?
Like wrestling style. It's like a combination. I forgot what video I saw when I first started watching wrestling. They said you should combine like your three favorite, whoever got you into wrestling. You should combine like three of them, and that. So like I always Jeff Hardy and The Rock were always like my favorite two, and then I always like just the Road Dogs energy, just back in the day. So I combined all of that kind of together. He wear the sweats and all that. Jeff Hardy do the high flying type of stuff. The Rock is that cool persona and all everything. So I kind of put all of that together and just do it through myself and to see how it go. And that's Kevin Knight with the sweatsuit on and everything. So
Yeah, the sweatsuit is top tier. I've really never seen that. Like I'm a sucker for a matching two set, like a two piece. So I love that. That orange is killer. But yeah, Memphis Mayhem. If you Impact Wrestling, if you're there,
okay.
you know, throw the blue on for us. Would be nice. Would be nice. But of course, this is women's wrestling talk. We have to get to some women's business. Now, this is kind of a two-part question because I gotta ask. We know Mercedes Moné has been probably one of the most talked about pieces of the indies with her new venture in New Japan Pro Wrestling. Have you gotten to have a conversation with her at all? And if you can, detail that. And also, are there any other women in the industry that you have your eyes just really set on?
There's so many good women in the industry. But first answer your first question with Mercedes. No, I never got to have a full conversation with her yet. I've only met her like twice, and it was just saying hey and passing and all that. Like I don't like to bother people backstage, so if they got something going on, I just let them do their thing, and then I'm focusing on my match anyway. So yeah, I'm excited to see the things that she'll bring to the independent world, to the New Japan Stardom world, because she's literally like the Beyonce of wrestling, and like wherever she goes, her fans is following. So this is gonna sell out everywhere. So it's only good business, in my opinion. So I'm excited to see how she does things on her own. But women that have my eyes set on, in what way? It's a lot of them. In the ring, there's so many good women out there. Like from WWE to AEW to Impact. The Impact division is lit. There's so many girls in the Joshis in Stardom. Like it's so much good talent out there. Like I feel like women's wrestling is the draw nowadays, in my opinion. Like in WWE, you got Bianca, Charlotte, Asuka, all the heavy hitters. You know what I mean? AEW, I know Jade just left and everything, but she was carrying that for a long time. Um, but so many people. Naomi or Trinity is personally one of my favorites, along with Mercedes, just because I watched them so much growing up, and they brought such a different style at that time. They stood out so much in their time coming up. So they'll always be my number one and two.
I mean, yeah, of course. And I mean, of course, sticking on with women's wrestling, I mean, intergender matches plays a big part, especially in Impact and across of any of the independents like GCW and so on and so forth. If you were interested in doing intergender matches, who would you want to face? Like, who do you feel like you could just step into the ring with and just like really have that hard hitting match with them?
Low key, like Masha Slamovich, she would bring that fire. Like we would have a good intense match because she got her intensity is unmatched. Her mechanics and how she moves in the ring is mad smooth. So I would love to get in there and mix it up with Masha. She's one of the best in the world, obviously. Um, it's so many names. Julia from Stardom, she's fire. Uh, so many people. I can't even think of the names. The whole Knockouts division. You got Savannah Evans, Kylan Kane. They nice. I feel like a lot of people are slept on, and for whatever reason that may be, but it's so much talent out there. So anybody that step in the ring with Santana, whenever you're ready, we can get in there. I know you say you got a mean forearm. Yeah.
Are you calling me out? Like, is you calling me out?
Whenever you're ready. Whenever you're ready.
All right, I got you.
Man, that's
I just got called. This is the first time I ever got called out.
that is the first time. Damn.
Ooh.
All right,
Damn.
I got you. Let me go ahead and get my training on right quick.
Oh,
Right.
ready.
That's crazy. I personally, if I had to pick one for you, this may be a little left field,
Mhm.
but I want to see you get in the ring with Rhea Ripley.
Rhea Ripley.
Yeah, you're gonna get
Oh,
ripped
I
out
don't
and folded.
Mommy, she
Y'all have two different styles,
for sure.
and I like that. Like, and y'all have very like height wise,
Mm,
like stature wise. I
yeah,
think you would give her a different run for her money. Like, I think it would be a time where she wouldn't be able to like not keep up, but you're so fast hitting, and you move, you're so agile, and Rhea is very complex sometimes. She's a powerhouse. So I would love to see her like chase you around the ring in a sense and like try to funny
nah,
shit.
Rhea Ripley would definitely be a
Yeah,
challenge. Been a big
definitely.
player, so yeah, she's legit.
We've seen some amazing matches from you alone just this year, but also in different promotions. We followed you from Battle Slam now to Impact Wrestling, New Japan Pro Wrestling as well. I do have a question though, because I know it gets tough.
Okay.
Who's been the toughest opponent that you've ever faced? I feel like I know who you're gonna say, but I want to see if it's the person that I'm thinking
The
and the
tough,
person that Santana's thinking.
the toughest opponent really might be It might be the people I have from Impact, Speedball and Moose. Like it's a tie between them two. Like you got to put your work boots on when you're in the ring with Speedball. He's one of the top in the business right now, so you got to step your game up when you're in there with him. And then Moose, I just had a match with him back in Chicago, and that one was a real doozy. So I had to put my work boots on for that one too, almost 20 minutes. So them two out of impacts is yeah, I had to put some work in. I had to earn my check in that day.
Santana, we on the same page?
We are. We definitely were. Because the match you had with Speedball, I mean, it was. I almost forgot I had my camera in my hand, to be honest. Because it was some effect like it was like, oh my God. Like
Mm.
and
The best match
we
I've
didn't even
seen.
know. We didn't even we knew about that. But the fact is that it was just like, oh my goodness, I thought Kevin's in here kind of getting his ass whipped a little bit. Look, just a little bit. Just a little bit. But you was keeping up though.
That Speedball, that was my first time working with him, and yeah,
Crazy.
The chemistry was like I would have never known that like the first time you guys worked with each other because the chemistry that you guys had in the ring was just like you could feel it in the crowd to be exact as well. So
that was definitely a special moment. That was in my hometown where I was raised in Atlanta, so I had some family and friends. My mom saw all that, so it was a good environment.
it was. But also in other environments and everything like that, switching from toughest opponents, we switched to dream opponents. I mean, everybody. Well, if I was a wrestler, I want to wrestle Bianca Belair.
Right.
And all that, you know what I'm saying? You know, in the gender, I want to face Damian Priest, you know. I don't think I get in with like Speedball because I don't want those knees to my back or anything like that. It's a little
Still recovering.
it's a little like, no, I'm not doing that. But who would you say are like your dream opponents that you would love to like step in the ring with and create magic?
I got a few. I feel like I would have some great chemistry with. It may happen sooner than later. I got my eyes on that X Division Championship, Leo Rush. So if I could ever step in the ring 1-on-1 with him, we don't work a couple tags or whatever, had a couple moments. But if we can get that actual 1-on-1, whether it's for the X Division title or whatever, I feel like we'd have great chemistry and put on something real nice. Because he's one of my biggest inspirations. So to get in the ring with somebody like that would, that would just validate my whole career at that point. Be able to keep up with somebody I look up to. So me and Leo definitely. Swerve, of course, like I said earlier. And I really like Darby Allin's intensity. I feel like we would have a great hard-hitting match just because we also came from the same training school up in Seattle. So I feel like that story would be there just to further not only do one match, we could do some type of series or whatever. But Leo, Swerve, and Darby, I feel like top three. Also Carmelo Hayes as well from NXT. I feel like all of us have some type of good chemistry. So
I love to see that because especially the black talent in wrestling are thriving on a whole different level. You see what's going on with Trisha Dora on the Indies. You see what's going on with multiple different talents. You mentioned Carmelo Hayes, some of the guys over in Impact as well. Impact has grown so much. I mean, look at Chris Bay and Trey and you and Leo Rush. There's been so many. We go from Seattle to LA to Atlanta to New Japan. Are there any other places that you haven't wrestled that you got to put your stamp on?
I mean, I'm the Jet, so I got to go all over the world, right? So I got to hit as many countries as I can, as many cities as I can. I've always wanted to just go to Africa, period. So I've always just wanted to go there. So if they got any type of wrestling, any type of promotion, I definitely want to perform over there, for the motherland. Anywhere in the world, France, UK, I got to conquer that area. Where else is I've wrestled in Canada before. I want to wrestle in the East Coast more, whether that's New York, Connecticut, down south. I want to wrestle over on the East Coast a lot more. So places over there, wherever they got some promotions, I'm trying to be over there.
I can see that. But I do want to spend a block back to Japan because, like, I've said this plethora of times that Japan is my dream place to go to. Like, if there was ever a time that I can like get my citizenship to live in Japan, I would live there and never come back to America. That's just how I feel. Like, that's how obsessed I am with it. But I want to talk about your time in Japan because you you travel a lot over there for a lot of the New Japan stuff that's going on and everything. So I want to, first of all, I want to talk about your preparation of going to Japan. Let's start there so that I can put it in my notes on what I need to do so that me and Nikki can get prepared to come over to Japan.
Right, right. It may be a little bit different because I got a lot of wrestling stuff in my luggage I prepared to bring over. So I don't bring your wrestling gear, and all that over. But honestly, I pack a couple bags. I don't bring too many clothes because yeah, I just don't bring too many clothes just to work out in. I bring my skates. Gotta have my skates when I'm out there. And honestly, the biggest thing, I make sure I stay up the whole night before I get on that flight because it's a 10-hour flight. I want to knock out the whole time. By the time I get there, it's like 16 hours ahead in the middle of the day, so I don't want to be jet lagged. But yeah, be ready to walk around. Get ready for some good food. Um, I don't know what kind of language app you use, like Duolingo. I don't know if that
I
helps.
have Duolingo. I have it on my phone, but I haven't used it because I mean it's just there just for future references. If like if I ever do plan on traveling to Japan, I can kind of get some assistance there. The only thing I know how to say is arigato. That's it. Konnichiwa. Like that's it for me. That's probably all you're gonna get for right now, standard time. But
Okay, okay. I mean, hey, that's a start. That's a start. I would say learn more the customs and the mannerisms that they have is so different. Like they're so respectful. Not saying Americans aren't, but it's
mhm.
just something built into their culture that they respect everybody and that from the convenience store people to the CEO of a company, they're gonna treat you the same. So everybody's cool. Yeah, learn some phrases, get them mannerisms down, learn how to use some chopsticks, get them bento boxes. But
Mhm.
yeah, preparation for Japan. Uh, it's just a whole different world. I can't explain it really. If you ever been to Times Square or like any big city, that's how Tokyo is. And then you got your small towns. There's not too many people, so it's just like any other place. It's a different culture.
I'm trying to go to all the anime stuff. That's
Don't
where I'm trying to get to.
like anime, then yeah, yeah. Japan is definitely for you. I'm not too big into anime, but they have that stuff everywhere.
That's awesome. Well, recently you were in the ring training with Leo Rush, who you've recently mentioned. You
Yep.
took to Twitter, if not in a couple hours. I don't even think it's been 24 hours. You said this. You said it here. You have your eyes on the X Division Championship. I want to know what it's going to take for you to get to that position, but also because I know how you are, you have your eyes in other places. Beyond the X Division Championship, what other championships have you kept your eye on, whether it be, whatever promotion it may be?
I mean, I got it. Me and Kushida got it. We got to get our lick back and get them IWGP Tag Team Championship soon. So whenever we're ready to go back to Japan, we trying to get our babies back. Trying to run that junior tag division again. Obviously, since doing the Super Juniors, I'm always have my eyes on that IWGP Junior Heavyweight. Takahashi, whenever he's ready to give it up, ready to give the boy a chance, I'm in there. So I feel like the sky's the limit. I could try for X Division, junior tag, IWGP Junior Heavyweight, shoot even heavyweight tag or eventually the IWGP Heavyweight Championship. Eventually, So whenever the time is right, I'm ready for it all. Ready for it all.
That's what's up. Any final thoughts, Mr. Jet, before we get out of here?
Final thoughts? Not really. It's been a pleasure this year to be able to work with Impacts. I feel like that's helped me so much to grow as a performer, just to become a better wrestler overall, whether it's the TV packages or just learning how to work with cameras. Impact has helped me a lot just in that learning experience. And then just learning that American style again, because I've been so used to the Japanese style. It's just been a pleasure to do both and to be able to have opportunities in both. I was able to do the Ultimate X match for Slammiversary. I had to go against Trey Miguel when he was the X Division champion. So I've had a lot of good opportunities with Impact in New Japan. So I'm just grateful for it all.
That's awesome. Well, before we get out of here, let everyone know where they can find you on social media, of course.
So we can find me on social media, Twitter, Instagram. I still use Facebook here and there at Jet2Fly with two Y's. I got my merch website down, the same thing, www.jet2fly.com. You can get some trading cards. The Intergalactic Jet Set is T. So, yup, got it right there for him. Yup, go ahead and show it to him.
Hey, this like low key the hardest merch I done seen though.
Nah, for sure.
Like,
It's a good little trading card, and I got the sleeves and everything to put on it. So,
yeah,
get you one. Get you one.
get you one. Get you one. And get you a photo too that Santana took, by the way.
Facts. I got to put that on the website too, and I got Santana. Yeah, we'll talk about it.
Yeah, we'll talk business a little later. But we do appreciate you for coming on with us here at Women's Wrestling Talk. Of course, the #1 women's wrestling show on the planet.
Wrestling Talk, the #1 women's wrestling show on the planet. Women's Wrestling Talk, the #1 women's wrestling show on the planet.